In the book Awaken the Giant Within, Anthony Robbins reveals his most successful methods and strategies for controlling your emotions, body, relationships, economics, and life. Robbins demonstrates to readers how to face their anxieties, gain confidence, and reach their full potential through a series of exercises and useful ideas. In his book Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins offers solutions if you desire to make changes in your life but find it difficult to follow through. The author discusses the significance of choices and beliefs in bringing about good transformation and becoming the person you want to be. Let's have a look at the summary of the book. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The self-help book Awaken the Giant Within was released in 1992. The book is a global bestseller, making Tony Robbins its author. The book serves as a mirror. Awaken the Giant Within will make you reflect on your behavior in a society where many individuals are unwilling to acknowledge their faults and errors. The book is distinctive from the majority of self-help books you might read. The provided useful techniques will lead you through the pages. Part 1. The first part discusses the factors that affect your success and failure. Raising your standards is the key. In this section, he discusses how decisions have power. The author of Awaken the Giant Within begins the book by outlining the proper technique to make decisions to accomplish the desired outcome. According to Robbins, the manner we communicated our intention to change was the reason we failed. According to Tony, committing is difficult, but as we put more effort into it, it becomes simpler. Therefore, whenever you fail, just consider what you can take from it. Most importantly, keep trying. If you don't decide on how you'll live in 10 years, you'll have chosen by default to let events control your life. Every successful person has made a significant decision at some point in their life. Robbins' life changed 8 years before he began writing the book. He was overweight and broke until he decided that he would never settle for anything less than his best. Robbins shares many examples and anecdotes in the book to show how a single choice may have a profound impact. Pain and pleasure. In this part of his book Awaken Your Giant Within, author Tony Robbins describes how our decisions are driven by our desire to minimize pain and increase pleasure. We yet continue to make painful choices. We always act to either escape pain or to enjoy ourselves. Even if we believe that something is beneficial to us in the long run, we might not act if we anticipate suffering shortly. Nevertheless, we all have a pain threshold at which the intensity of the agony is so great that we swear never to experience it again. The secret is to learn to control our decisions and behaviors rather than allowing pleasure and suffering to do so. Part 2. Taking control of anything is what Part 2 is all about. Robbins teaches how you may achieve this by having a good outlook, being honest with yourself, and most importantly, holding yourself to high standards. The key point being made here is how our deeply held ideas can prevent us from making adjustments. Let's see what other things you will find in this part of the book. Beliefs. In this section, Robbins goes into great detail to describe the idea of belief systems and limiting beliefs. A belief is essentially a sense of assurance about something. To put it simply, when we come across examples or experiences that support an idea, it becomes more than just an idea. The degree of emotional arousal and the number of references affect how strong a belief is. Similar to the idea previously put forward, author Tony Robbins suggests that it is vital to associate discomfort with one's old beliefs and pleasure with one's new beliefs. Here, he also offers 6 steps that can help you avoid pain and enter a state of pleasure. Vocabulary. According to Tony Robbins, our vocabulary has a big impact on how we feel. Importantly, there are 3,000 words in the English language that describe emotions, but nearly 2/3 of these words depict unpleasant feelings. This, according to Tony Robbins, is a contributing element to the increased frequency of our unpleasant feelings. Consequently, you must pay particular attention to the words you use. Your daily vocabulary will influence how you think and perceive the world. The language used to frame emotionally charged situations, like pain or success, is referred to by Tony as transformational vocabulary. Asking yourself the right questions. Our emotions are significantly influenced by our thoughts and beliefs. Tony explains, saying that our ideas are made up of a succession of questions and responses. As a result, the questions we are asking ourselves have a big influence on how we think. The impact of our thoughts on how we perceive life follows from this. The questions we are asking ourselves collectively have an indirect effect on the experiences we have in life. Negative inquiries come before negative responses. Your life values. The aspects of life that are most important to you should be clear to you. These are necessary components of life. The world's most affluent and content people have a good handle on their underlying values. These ideals impact every decision they make. According to Tony Robbins, a lack of concreteness in your life values could be the source of your dissatisfaction. If you lack distinct life principles, you may be living in a way that contradicts the areas of life that are most important to you. Rules you have to establish. We all live by rules that guide our daily choices and feelings. Tony Robbins emphasizes the significance of always evaluating if our existing norms are causing happiness or dissatisfaction. Some rules may limit your opportunities and, as a result, your pleasure. You might believe that your happiness depends on how proud your parents are of your accomplishments. You do not influence this, though. Tony Robbins advises you to set up life rules you can control as a result. Focusing on life norms based on one's objectives rather than what others expect is one way to achieve this. Part 3. The third part discusses altering and rebuilding your life in just 7 days. Tony Robbins encourages you to work on your emotional, physical, and interpersonal relationships with those who are near you. In his book Awaken Your Giant Within, Tony Robbins suggests to the reader make the following changes for 1 week. Number 1. Reshape your daily experiences by taking charge of your emotions. Number 2. Work on getting physically fit so you have plenty of energy. Number 3. Enhance your connections. Number 4. Take charge of your finances and grasp the 5 components of wealth creation. Number 5. Create parameters to track progress and determine what is being done or not, and define attitudes that are aligned with your beliefs. Number 6. Learn how to make the most of your time. Number 7. Take that day off. Organize something enjoyable and complete it. Think of it as a 7-day care plan that takes the form of a book. Additionally, you won't ever be in need. Part 4. Risk-taking is an important topic that is covered in the 4th section of the book, Awaken the Giant Within. A courageous man risked his life to save some dolphins whose lives were being slaughtered and ignored, according to the author's account, merely because a few sailors on the routes desired to pursue tuna fishing. Other details. More than 500 pages of ideas, examples, advice, activities, and distinctions are included in this book. Additionally, Tony provided several first-person examples of his friends and clients, as well as references to well-known figures including Donald Trump, Mother Teresa, Bill Gates, Mahatma Gandhi, Walt Disney, Warren Buffett, Soichiro Honda, Billy Joel, and Robin Williams. Final verdict. Regardless of where they are in life, stuck or successful, everyone has to read this book. It forces you to overcome any obstacle or difficulty in every aspect of your life. It helps you become more aware of your life's strengths, passions, dreams, and objectives. It empowers you to overcome challenges and pursue your ideal lifestyle. The biggest flaw in this book is the number of examples. There are simply too many to read, analyze, and use effectively. You should not read this book once and then discard it. The book that needs to be preserved forever and handed down from one generation to the next is this one. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.